So you guys, I saw this really strange thing on Instagram. Again, I'm calling it strange because I just want to get your opinions on it. It was absolutely hilarious. So this lady, not sure what her name is, Pearl, I think, something.
Pearl Davis. Context
Pearl
wise, she
Davis.
sent us this weird thing, by the way.
I said, I was curious to know what you guys thought. Like,
Come on.
you know me, I feel like I always just like to play devil's advocate all the time. But yeah, let's see. She said, according to some research that some bankers did, by 2030, half of women. So this is the thing. She said half of women, but she didn't say where. I don't know if she meant in the world, right? Are we considering India and China? Are we not? Is this just the US? But she said half of women will be single, right? I think that's how she said it. Half of women will be single. And basically, this is because women are only attracted to 30% of men. I think that's what she said. So 30% of men are attractive to women. And these 30% are the only men that we all find attractive. Meaning, if someone is married now, you probably have one of those 30% of men. And everybody wants your man, basically. So
Like,
everybody wants your man.
God.
And she also said there were so many opinions. So first, by 2030, half of women, again, I don't know where, but let's just do globally, right? To make conversation simple. Half of women will be single, and only 30% of men on earth are desirable. Again, I don't know if we're considering India and China, but but this is just this is what she said.
what beef?
Because I'm just imagining
China, girl.
No, the thing is, if they have like, almost, I'll say one eighth of all the people in the world, then you know what I mean. So okay, and then only 30% of men are desirable, and then she said this one was really funny. If we decide to ban side chicks, it would be women that protest and not men. That one took me out. That one like spun me.
So she meant like
and
we
then
suffer. Like as women. We
no, she
suffer
meant like
if
women
would be banned.
Yeah, that women will be more upset than men would if side chicks are banned.
It sounds like she's talking from experience, but go ahead.
Right? Right?
And then what else did she? I think her whole. Oh yeah, and then she said, basically she's saying this based off of research. And, women, our preferences have been shaped by our grandmothers and our mothers. So this isn't our fault. It's just what it is. I watched it. Okay, for context, my husband sent me this, actually.
Okay.
LOL.
We've not, we haven't had the conversation like deeply. I was just like, what did you think? But we still need to, because he sent it to me like, just a few hours before we started recording. And I was like, this is interesting. This is really interesting. And I'm like, okay, I definitely want to know what the girls think.
The fact that it's coming from a woman.
What do you guys think?
Like, it's coming from a woman, first of all. Let's start there. Okay, for context to those listening, Pearl Davis is a white woman from America, I think, right? Yeah. And
actually, I don't know, but most likely.
Yeah. So I bump into her because she's always on podcasts for some weird reason. It's not like she has I don't know if she has her own podcast, but she's always on these toxic masculine podcast type vibes. And again,
giving Candace Owens.
Right?
Oh, she goes on male podcasts.
Mostly for the content that I see.
At least the person interviewing her in this one was definitely male.
Yeah. Okay. And the clips that I do see, it's usually male podcasts, and not the fun ones like the shits and gigs and whatnot. I wish it would, but it's the ones talking trash about women, right? And in my opinion, I cannot stress it enough, guys. My opinion, she's a misogynist. She's just a female misogynist because she's always bashing women, talking trash about women, and this and that. And
female misogynist is crazy. Yeah, my thoughts,
like literally, I think those are the worst types of misogynists. Let's park it there. But my thoughts on it. honestly, when she was talking, I was just looking at her like with pity, because kind of like you, Hadia, I actually first got the inkling that she was talking from experience. So for me, my thought processing of the whole thing was like, okay, was she cheated on by a man or her husband? I don't know if she's married, but was she cheated on and she felt like that kind of took pressure off of her? Because the way she was sounding, it sounded like if a man has a side chick, right, it's kind of like helping you as a woman. If I'm to be upset that my man has a side chick, no, the other way around. If I'm to be upset, that's the thing. I cannot
I'm so
even
sorry.
think like
I couldn't hold it. Oh my
literally
gosh.
cannot think
That
like
was such an
that.
ugly laugh, but that was funny.
Like that. Okay, so if I'm to be upset that my man doesn't have a side chick, it kind of sounds like maybe I feel like spending time with my man is a duty, being with him intimately
But
is a
sorry,
duty.
Rufaro, I'm not sure where you're going.
Like I'm
You,
putting myself in her shoes,
oh, okay, I
in the
got you,
shoes of
got
what
you.
she
I
was
was
saying.
like,
'Cause you see, that's how it's confusing, right? But
yeah.
taking her line of thought, like her line of thinking, it sounds like that. It sounds like everything is a duty, which is sad, because the moment I start feeling like spending time with my partner or being with my partner in any sort of way is a duty, then it just either means we're not compatible, I don't feel you, I don't love you. What are we even doing together? So I started feeling sorry for her, because I was like, are you in a loveless thing? Are you in a boring thing? But honestly, the first thing I felt for her was pity. And after that, I got mad, but I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't know about the statistic about, half of women being single. I can see it possibly being true because women are more and more, they all work, or a lot of them work now. And the lifestyle that we live kind of makes us stay single for longer or just stay single forever.
More picky, yeah.
Yeah, but I just hate it when people start saying things like, oh, so now all the single women are going to be running after the married men, or they do this, or whatever. It just it pisses me off, because me as a single woman in my 30s, the least attractive type of men are the married ones. That is like a type of men.
Literally.
Why would I go near that? And I feel like if a woman starts talking about that, like I said, it's either happened to her or she's been a side chick. I don't know. That must be a life you're familiar with, because for me, that is a life that I'm not familiar with, and I will never be familiar with that. And leave a single, independent woman alone. Just leave us alone. Go figure out your
Yes,
own damn
girl.
life. No, seriously, did I come and complain to
Yeah.
you? I didn't. So leave me alone. I'm fine. If I don't find anyone, I'm fine in my singleness. And yeah, like if your man is out here having side chicks, also stop talking about the side chicks. Why aren't we talking about these damn men who are like looking for other women? What's wrong with them?
I mean, and also
Yeah.
my question is, who determines that this 30% is attractive? Because what's attractive to you is not what's attractive to me. Like, I can tell you right now with my chest, sorry, Michael B. Jordan, love you to bits, but I do not understand Michael B. Jordan's attractiveness, right? He's handsome, but he's not attractive to me. So in as much as he may be in someone's 30%, he's not in mine, right? So who's determining that? Who's determining this figure of like 30% of men? Because some men will look at Burna Boy and see him as scary as, I don't know, this. But I will look at him and I'm like, damn, daddy. So my thing is, who's determining these numbers, please? I just don't get that
Exactly.
part.
Exactly.
Um,
So wait, just
yeah.
one thing. So just to get this straight, she's insinuating that this 30% of men that women find attractive are the only men who women marry. Is she also saying that?
No, I don't think she implied that. But yeah, just that it would just
Okay.
be this 30% that women would say yes to, I guess, is what she was trying to say.
Okay.
Or if you are
No.
married to a person who's in the 30%, then you
Yeah, and if
must
you're married to
also
a
be
person who's in
ready.
30%,
Yeah,
then you're now in trouble. So
exactly.
it doesn't mean that women
Okay.
aren't getting married to people outside of the 30%. It's just if you're married now, you're most likely with one of these 30% because all women think the same.
Then you
Is
should
what
be ready for us
because
literally coming for your
Lies.
man, basically.
yes.
30%, and we all want him. And it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I would
Oh my
tell.
gosh. Now I can't. I feel like I can't say my contrarian opinion because
Please
you
say
like
it.
she's a female misogynist, and that would make me want
Please
to.
say it.
Girl,
Say it.
we want to hear
Because
it.
I said my opinion, so say it.
Oh gosh. Yeah, obviously there were a lot of like really dumb things. So like that's why I kept saying when you say 30% of women, that's an incomplete thought. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like what which women are you talking about? The whole world? Because have you really been to like, East Africa, South Africa, North Africa? Have you really been to like Southeast Asia, Central Europe?
Yeah.
Like, did you really consider all of that to say so 30% of this global population is attractive? I think it was a bit silly. I think she meant the US, but it wasn't a complete thought,
But
right?
still,
She didn't
it's a
say
reach.
that. Yeah, it's a reach. So like for me that I was just like, okay, I don't know. This I can't really say anything about this. The thing about our preferences being similar, that one, I can see it. I'm not saying I agree with her, but I can see it. And I'll give you an example. Now,
Elaborate.
I'm going to bring the dumbest thing ever to light. And I feel so bad that I'm actually admitting that I watched this trash.
Okay.
And this is this pop the balloons thing.
Girl, I will rip my wig off my head right now.
Wait, hold on.
Let me sit properly
Before
for
you
this.
guys before you guys judge me. Again, I know that this is like it's like the dumbest thing to use. So I'm just going to just go again. This is me just doing my devil's advocate thing. So when you watch this thing, which some of us have seen like clips of it on TikTok or whatever, you do kind of feel like people's preferences are similar. Like this is the vibe I get. Like, and also when I think of like my friendship circles, I think, again, I'm not saying we're attracted to the same type of men. It's not like, it's just not true. But I think that the preferences are similar. So now if you take out like just physical, so when you think about it, most people want to be with like, someone that at least has a good head on his head, someone that, if doesn't have a lot of money now, has a vision or, a plan to kind of get there. Like this is what we again, I can't say collectively, but this is kind of what, again, I said my friendship circle. So I'm not talking about 30% of women in the world or anything. My friendship circle. This is what we find attractive. Again, at the end of the day, what that now presents itself like, right? It could now be like a tall, light-skinned guy or a short, dark-skinned guy or a bald guy. But I'm just saying those like preferences, I don't think they're so far apart.
But girl, like, okay, I'm actually gonna use what you said against you. I'm sorry, but like,
Yeah, sure.
you're talking about the let's go for the pop the balloon thing. I don't know if it's just me, but these men or these girls that go on the show, to a certain degree, if you look really closely, you can see certain things that can make them like be similar to each other. So it's kind of like if you're somewhat similar to each other, I wouldn't be surprised if your opinions on things are also similar, right? Because birds of the same flock. What's the saying? Birds of the same feathers flock together. But also, how
Yeah.
many flocks are out there? How many flocks of birds are out there? You know. So my thing, and also the friend group thing, it's possible that you guys, the basis of your friendship is actually also having same interests, in as much as sometimes you don't even know your interests when you become friends, but there's that energetic field that attracts you to each other, and it's possible that that energetic field also carries your likes and your opinions on things, right? Because for example, with me, I have my friends, right? Love them to bits, but some of my friends, actually one of them is Nigerian. She thinks Burna Boy is scary. Like, to use her own words, she says Burna Boy is scary. That time I'm like, you can have it any day, like, but my thing is, it's out of 7 billion people in the world, or I don't know how big America is, I don't know how many people in America is, to say such a statement is such a reach, because I'm like, just because you have maybe interacted with people or found a group of people that share that opinion, that I don't know, Michael B. Jordan is handsome, it doesn't mean that the rest of the people outside of that like subjects little group of people agrees with that, right? So
Yeah, but that's why I think that's why I said like preference, because it's a bit more than physical attraction, right? And that's why I said it could like now present itself. So we could all be dating like or be with like men that couldn't look, more different from each other. They look like very different things, but it's just those like those things that you can't kind of quantify, right? Like, is he God fearing, or is he, does he have like a vision? Like, those are things that it doesn't matter what the person looks like, right? It could look like Burna Boy, it could look like Michael B. Jordan, it could also look like, what's this guy's name? The guy with the eyes from Grey's Anatomy, like that light-skinned guy. Like, that's my point of, it's not about like the physical thing.
Oh, okay.
It's more about like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said
But
preferences.
you think her
like,
statement is not only referring to the physical, like
no,
also-
I don't know what this like. I was just thinking of that.
I think she's
comment
talking
of
about
our
the physical,
preference.
but go ahead.
Same,
You
because
think?
what you see first is what actually determines if you're
Yeah.
going to continue wanting this person. There's no way I'm going to look at a man and be like, okay, sometimes it happens, but 99% of the time, you don't look at a person and be like, okay, they're ugly AF, but I think they have a good heart, so I'll give them a chance. It's very rare. So-
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I was just thinking of the preferences thing, because I can just imagine me and my friends saying the same thing, and it's kind of, I would hear some of those things on like Pop the Balloon, and I'm very different from people that go on that show, right? So it's just like those things of, if a guy says, I don't have a job, or I don't care for working, that's just not attractive to me. And like for many people that I know, and I'm pretty sure if you put someone like that on Pop the Balloons, that will also not be attractive to the women there. So what, like, it's little things like that, like like these days I see that people kind of like gravitate towards people that want to work for themselves. As I'm not saying everybody
Me
has
as
that. That's
men.
also men or women.
okay.
Really, like, and I think that's just a thing of just preference. Again, not about like just the physical. The physical can also come into it, but not about just the physical. But it's just you do get the sentiment of like, I can imagine someone in her 30s, if a guy walks up to you and doesn't make a lot of money, it's just not attractive.
Yeah.
And that's like a preference thing, right? And that would be so for, at least again, when I look at people that I know, many people that I know, right? I don't want to say for everybody. So like, I'll say preferences is kind of, yeah, it's very hard to say, because in the context that we're saying it now, it's very hard for me to say it, and I feel uncomfortable. But I do kind of think that might be true, that our preferences might be similar, just because, again, preferences are formed by everything that we're experiencing, and we've all been experiencing similar things, because of social media, right? Those are the things that kind of shape our preferences. And I'm kind of leaning towards the point, towards the side of, it's becoming more and more similar. Like, that it would be so crazy that my preference as someone that grew up in Nigeria and came from there will be very similar to someone that grew up in the US and came from there, right? Because we consume pretty much the same thing, and these are the things shaping our preferences. Again, when I say preferences, I'm not only talking about the physical, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's kind of complex and not complex at both at the same times, because, if from when I hear her saying what she's saying, I feel like she's talking about very specific things that women want. Like, she's talking about all women want the same exact man, That's how I hear it. And for me, that just is not my case. I don't really relate to what you said, Mariam, with, me wanting the same exact thing as the people around me. But then when I think of that statement, like I said, I'm thinking about a very specific type of man, how he looks, how tall he is, all of that, and I guess maybe also career-wise and all of that. So yeah, but like, if we do talk on a broader spectrum, okay, what do women prefer in general? Obviously, those, I think from the beginning of time, it's the same. Yeah, you want someone who has money, you want someone who is attractive to an extent or whatever. Like, that's so broad that I just feel it's like,
Yeah, but the question is,
yeah,
I think then you can now, I think it starts to make an argument for her. If we say, you know, on a broad spectrum, women want people that have money, how many men actually do have money?
Yeah,
and then you
but-
start looking at, you know, what are like poverty ratios in countries and things.
But-
And how
like
much
it might
money-
actually start making an argument for her.
Yeah, I don't know, but
If you think about
it doesn't
Yeah.
stop women from marrying men who are not what they prefer, you know? Like people still get married, you know?
Yeah,
And
true.
so
Yeah.
I don't know, girl. I just feel like I don't know what her I don't know what her what she was trying to get to. You know, maybe from her point of view, being, you know, like a
Yeah.
Caucasian woman, you know, with I don't know, blue or green or whatever eyes she has and blonde hair. Maybe she thinks the standard of men for everyone, you know, is
white
someone
men,
who looks
I see.
exactly like her, you know, and
Yeah.
that's the only type of men that exist on the planet. Then I can see, oh, actually, okay, maybe the 30% thing makes sense because I don't know how many, what the
Yeah.
percentage of Caucasians on planet Earth is. But then if that's what she's saying, then that's a very, very serious statement. And, you know, and we're going to start going into like a very different territory. Like,
Yeah, true.
what are you trying to say, Mrs.? So I don't know.
I don't know. I think my
Yeah.
opinion is also flawed because I've seen other clips of hers where she says the most bizarre things, right? So me calling her a misogynist is not based off of this video, but based off of what I've seen before. So that's why I was even pushing you to give your opinion because I'm like, I've seen. So I think I was already clouded by that opinion of mine of
Yeah.
who she is to me, that even when she was talking, I'm just like, you know, kind of like how Candace Owens, sometimes she'll be saying things that make sense, but because she's already like built this opinion over
Yeah,
her
I know what you mean.
personality and her
Yeah.
opinions in our heads, whenever she's saying things, you just listen. You start by listening on some level. And
Yeah.
so it was like that for her, with this woman. But this whole 30% thing, I don't know, but my main focus was the side chick thing. That's one that like really hit home for me because I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was also kind of silly to just insinuate that, you know, men don't have a mind of their own. Like, you know, a side chick is just going to come and... Yeah, I just thought that... Again, I ignored all those parts. I think I just... Like, when she said the preference thing and our preferences being similar, I was like, yeah, I think I can actually see that, right? Like, again, not saying... I know this is going to get, like... I'm actually looking forward to seeing what the reactions to this are. But it's just, I'm not saying that we all like the same. Like, you know, me and my friends, again, like I said, if you see the people that we date and stuff physically, it looks very different.
Okay.
But when I think of like just the things behind the physical, right? I think a lot of those are similar, right? I can't imagine like a friend of mine being with like an absolute douchebag. Like I probably wouldn't hang out with her a lot, right? Because I probably won't be able to stand being around her partner. So, and I don't have any friend that has a partner that I, you know, can't be friends with. Do you know what I mean? And it's just because they just have those similar things that, you know, attract us to them. Again, not about the physical at
Okay.
all. But yeah, it was funny. And I think it's also the thing of, maybe if we see like the context in which, because this was just a clip, right? I don't know what question was asked that she said that. I don't know, like you said, Rufaro, what point she was trying to make. Like, what was that, you know, what was the point of even saying this? Like, so maybe if we see like the context of what she was talking about, we might understand. But yeah, again, the whole thing was crazy and funny. Yeah, I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on it. And please, I'm not a female misogynist.
Nah, Mariam is a softie, you guys. Mariam's a big
I'm like a,
Got my eyes on you,
We
girl.
love her.
don't ask me. Yeah, what's been happening, guys? The sun's out. The sun is out.
It's out one day and then the next day it
Fine.
isn't,
Yeah,
so I
okay,
don't
well,
know.
This is Germany. So we have to kind of put that into perspective. When we say the sun is out, it means, you know, it was sunny yesterday, it could rain today or snow. Actually, I think last week we had hail. In Frankfurt, we had hail, we had snow, we had sun. Like, everything happened. Like, honestly, I think spring weather is the stupidest weather
Biggest
ever.
scam.
Yeah, I don't like spring at all because of Germany, obviously, but I don't like spring at all. I think autumn even makes a bit more sense, right? Because it's not up and down and everywhere.
Yeah.
But the sun is out. This week was quite sunny. I know like lots of people were out doing things. I went to work a few days ago and I took the train. I'm saying that because these days I quite enjoy taking the train. And it was just nice to see like the sun out, everybody like dressed different and doing their own thing. But yeah, I was just like thinking about like fun things back in the day that I used to do. Hadia, do you remember when we used to live in the same city?
In Hamburg.
Yeah, in Hamburg. And like during summer, I would always want to be outside. And I don't know if you remember this. I always used to like drag you to the park or drag you to some event.
Yeah.
I just always wanted to be outside and doing something. I loved going to the park. It was so weird. Hadia, I don't know if you remember this. Like we would literally just go and sit for hours. We weren't even doing anything.
Yeah.
Like
I remember like
we'll just go.
the harbor. We used to go to the harbor a lot, like
Oh yeah.
that's where we used to
the
go.
Landungsbrücke.
Ah,
right?
that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Girl, I forgot everything. But
You know what it
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
like? It sounds like
What?
you're like you're like, girl, the sun is here for 3 months. Let's
Yeah, it was exactly
it in.
that.
Yeah.
Like I'll
As
be
much
like,
of it as we
let's
can."
go outside, let's meet up after church, let's do this, let's do that. And
yeah.
a lot of times it was not anything like spectacular, but I just wanted to be outside. And I'm just like thinking, what else do people do? Because it's been a minute, right? I feel like after the pandemic, because this is all pre-pandemic, what we're talking about. I feel like after the pandemic, like it's been a bit different. 2020 and 2021, and maybe even parts of 2022 were just not like proper summers, right? Because nothing was happening. Even if you went out, you probably were just doing things with like your inner circle. There weren't any shows. You couldn't go like clubbing or anything like that. At least 2020 and 21. And then I feel like last year, I don't know if you guys also got this sense. Last year, everybody was just like, "Fuck it, am I allowed to cuss?"
Like I cuss all the time.
Everyone was just like, I just want to be outside. And there were like lots of things happening. There were like shows, like back to back to back. And I'm very hopeful for this summer. I wonder what types of things I'll be up to. Do you guys have any summer plans or anything like that you wanna, that you already have plans for?
I think we determined last time that Hadi and I have summer birthdays. So
Oh yeah.
definitely something around that. But here in Cologne, I see it's actually a thing, and I've been on it's like a thing to do like what are they called? The big boats thingies? Yeah, but them ones, like a boat ride type thing.
Like the ones in Berlin, like those types
I
that
don't know
you
the
can
ones in
dress.
Berlin, child.
Okay, I don't know the ones in Cologne because I've never seen this.
So it's like I don't want to call it a cruise because it's like a
It's in
2
the
hour
city.
thing. What
Is it in the
is it?
city?
Oh yeah,
Is it inside
yeah,
in the
So
city?
sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. So sometimes you would just be in it and it would just like circle the Rhine
Ah,
River, or
okay.
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
go to Dusseldorf, and you can like book one that goes to Dusseldorf and brings you back, or you can just take one to Dusseldorf and you stay there. But it's actually nice because you're just in the water and they have like a restaurant on the thing, and so you can order drinks. I think some of them even do food, and I've seen some people doing parties on them, so you can like book one and just have a whole party thing
Yeah.
going on.
Do you know how much it costs?
My friends took me on a ride for my birthday, but it was just one making the rounds. I think it was just like $20 or something.
It's not
So
bad.
I think depending
That's
on
not
what
bad.
you're trying to do, the more you want to do or the more you want to experience, the more expensive it gets, obviously. So, but I don't think it's that crazy expensive. But just that in summer, I'm pretty sure they get booked like really quickly. So yeah, but that's something that's really nice because the Rhine River, you can at some points in Cologne, you can really get to experience it and just see it and just be around it. It's really nice. It's a bit
Yeah.
different from how Germans always like want to fill up these ice cream places during summer.
Oh my god, that's
leave the
that's the
ice
thing
cream alone.
actually. Oh my
Let's do something else. Ice cream is not
Yeah.
You know,
all
I
that
still
is.
saw this like 2 days ago, or 3 days ago on May the 1st. I like took a stroll with Ayo and it was insane. There was just this one small tent-like place
Yeah,
and it was just full of people. I'm like, the ice cream
literally.
can't be that nice.
Like,
I
Literally go
mean,
to
the sun is
flipping
out,
Reve and
so
buy
it makes
something.
sense. The sun is out, it makes sense. Everyone wants
Yeah.
ice cream. I mean, I'm that. You'll find me in that small ice cream shop with the Germans. Yo,
why
just
not
saying.
take the ice cream from there
Yeah.
and eat it somewhere? I don't know.
Yeah,
Do
you
you
have
have
a
to
Yeah.
point
sit
for
in the
sure.
ice dealer? Like,
No. Yeah. I mean, we have around Munich, so we don't have like a river running through Munich. We have the Isar, but that's not a river, or is it? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna edit this out if I'm saying wrong information. But anyways, but we don't have any like boat rides going on it. You know, I think it's too shallow for that. But we
I
have.
thought, but we went. What about the one we did?
So that's outside.
that
That's
isn't in
out. Yeah, that's
Munich.
not in Munich.
Ah,
It's
okay, got
outside.
you.
So from
Oh,
what?
guys, if you're listening, by the way, Bavaria is beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't been, and if you're looking for something to do in the summer, go to Bavaria. Like, there's just so many things you can do. It could be the Zugspitze, whatever. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Zugspitze,
Zugspitze.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so scenic and nice, right? And not just Munich, but just parts of Bavaria. Do
Yeah.
your research.
So
There's
definitely,
there's
like,
stuff to do. Yeah.
The lakes around Munich are breathtaking, and there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And it's not like a far away ride. Most of them are like 45 minutes, 1 hour away, which is really not that far with the train. And then there you have like a huge lake, and you can see the Alps from a distance, and
Yeah.
it's just so pretty, you know. And you can get these boat rides there as well. So yeah, I did this actually a lot during Corona. I think everyone did, because you can't leave the country. And even traveling to other cities in Germany was like, I don't think I did that at all during Corona. So
Yeah.
that's what we did, just lakes all summer long. Yeah, I was actually in a lake last weekend, or not last weekend, this week. It was 1st of May. Yeah, 1st of May, because we had,
degrees and stuff.
yeah, it was super warm and
Yeah.
super pretty. And I went to Tegernsee. That's one of them. It was a really nice day. Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you go with? How come we didn't see any pictures?
I went with my
Rock and
Munich
roll,
friends.
no?
I'll send you my photos
Yeah,
if you want to see
that
them.
jealous friend. I'm like, who's she hanging out with?
I went with my Munich friends. Yeah. Yeah, like
Okay.
yeah, my Munich crew. But yeah, I'm not like that much of a poster anymore. I kind of But next time I will, Miriam, to make sure you know that
Okay.
I'm in Tegernsee.
Yeah, I need to know what if my friends are having fun and my life is boring.
Of course, it's about that. Of course.
Yeah.
Girl.
What can people do in Frankfurt in the summer?
Please
So
tell
the
me,
truth
because
is,
I'm going to Frankfurt. Actually, you won't be around anyways, but I'll be in Frankfurt this weekend.
look at all these people having
Ooh.
plans. What are you doing in Frankfurt?
I'll be in Frankfurt, just like seeing something
When?
different. Like the weekend of the 10th, I'll be in Frankfurt. So
Oh,
do
girl,
tell.
no, I'm not around that weekend.
Tell
Yeah,
us
that's
more.
what I
Why are
said,
you in
like,
Frankfurt?
Sally. I'm just going
Why
to
am I?
like to see something different. And
Okay.
Okay. I honestly don't know a lot of great things to do in Frankfurt because since we moved here, I've been through pandemic, baby, and things. So I feel like this is like my first summer where I'm now feeling up to, being outside again. But I heard something. So last weekend, I was with some folks. It was one of my friends' baby shower. So I was with some folks that had lived here for longer than I have. And they were talking about different things. So someone mentioned like a butterfly garden. So you can actually go somewhere to watch butterflies, and it's apparently something that's really beautiful. Obviously we have, in Cologne, they have the Rhine, or in North Rhine-Westphalia, they have the Rhine. We have the Main. So these are the two biggest rivers, I think, right, in Germany, the Rhine and the Main. So we have the Main, so you can also do boat rides. But I don't know how much it costs here because I haven't tried any. But it looks nice. And I think the boat ride on the Frankfurt side of the Main is quite nice. We've seen this on the Offenbach side of the Main. It's quite ghetto, but that's for another day. So that's something you can do, or sit by the river. have a picnic. At least I see this, right? I haven't done most of these things. If you live in Hamburg, though, I might have some, because Hamburg was when I was like young and out.
LOL.
I did a lot. I did a lot. So what fun things to do in Hamburg in the summer? So like Hadya said, you can go to the Elbe. There's actually this little tiny beach-like thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this tiny beach thing. I forgot what it was called. It's a bit of a mouthful. It used to be right next to my office back then. So it's a tiny beach on the Elbe. You can sit there, have your picnics. Hadya, do you remember us doing Tuche's, was it bridal shower? I was going to say baby shower, but it was bridal shower.
It was like her bachelorette. It was a bachelorette.
Yeah,
It started as a picnic, and then it just kind of went through the, like we did all of that in one day, I think, or was it two separate days?
So we started out on the beach,
yeah,
and then we had the picnic, and then we took pictures and met her friends, and then in the evening we went clubbing.
Wow.
Oh, talking about going clubbing, let me tell you something crazy that happened that night, and I don't know if you remember this.
I remember. She's already shaking her head, so she remembers.
So we were like, okay, first we have to give context about Hamburg or about Germany. So if you're new here or if you don't know much about Germany, there is legalized prostitution in Germany. So, or in parts of Europe, but Germany is one of those countries. So like the way you have kind of the red light district in
Hamburg,
the Netherlands, we have in Hamburg, they also have a red light district called Reeperbahn. And on
Hadya's face is just...
so it's like like this was the first time in my life. I remember then, right? I'm talking about being like 23, 24. And again, I'm not that young, but again, I was new in Germany and then going to the Reeperbahn. This was my first time. Because, coming from Nigeria, prostitution is like, such a taboo thing.
Yeah.
And then you get on this street with like lights and brothels and, like there's literally this big pink one called Sex House. It's just in your face. Like I had never before then seen like, things around sex so overt and open. Like I remember just being like, wow, this is really interesting. But what the thing about Reeperbahn and Hamburg is this is also where most of the clubs are. So if you're going clubbing, you're going to Reeperbahn. So this night, again, the truth is, because you're in the red light district, right? So there is like, people come into club, people come into pubs, people come in to just have a good time with their friends. There's prostitutes looking for clients. There's clients looking for prostitutes. Everything's happening at the same time. So we get there and I think we were waiting for someone. So it was me, it was Hadya, and I think Tuche might have been with us. So Tuche was our friend at the time, having her bachelorette. And we're just standing on one corner because I think we're trying to decide what club we're going to, or waiting for the rest of the group.
I think all of us actually. It wasn't just us three. There were more of us. It wasn't just us,
right? There were some more people. Yeah, and we're just standing. So there were us two. We were the only black chicks there, and then there were some other people. And next thing, there was this young man dressed in a suit.
Up. Yeah.
Dressed in a suit. Like when you see this guy, I mean, the question we start asking is, he can definitely get someone, right? Because he now like walked up to us and was trying to proposition us. So he thought we were prostitutes on the corner of the street. Again, why were we on this? So he thought we were prostitutes on the corner of the street, looking for clients.
It was so weird
to take to the sex house. So that happened.
He said because when he first approached us and he approached our then friend, she thought he was just there to ask a question. He approached us. So she was like trying to...
Because he was wearing a flipping suit.
Yeah, he looked very smart. He looked very smart. And then he was like telling her, so you guys want to come back with me to my hotel? What? And then we were like...
no, thank you.
It was so weird. weird because when I think about it, honestly, we were not even dressed a certain way that would tell you that we were like just looking very normal, average, like that night. So for him to just assume such an assumption was so funny and so weird.
It was
we're
hilarious.
That's so weird.
But then we also realized, while we're standing on the corner of the street, it probably didn't look good.
Yeah,
but that was
weird.
funny. That was funny. So that happened. But you can go to the beach. You can go to Landungsbrücken. You can do the All-Star. So there's this thing of like things to do in Hamburg before you die or something. And it's taking a walk or cycling around the All-Star. I don't know how many kilometers it is, but it's quite big.
What's
but the All-Star... So the All-Star is it a lake or a river? Honestly,
it's a water body.
I don't know. It's a water body in the middle of the city. It's quite nice. I think it's a lake because it's enclosed. Like you can go like all around it, right? So I think it's like a really big lake, I think. So there's the Ulster. Then there's Old Town Hamburg, which is kind of downtown. So like there's like lots to do. And for me, I shop way more in the summer, because shopping is just a bit more fun when the weather is nice and you can actually like see. So like going shopping is also something quite nice to do. And between May and I think the middle of June is like sales. So it's always like a nice time to like buy stuff. Buy stuff and look cute. Go to the beach, go to Reeperbahn, get yourself proposition,
That part, no, but
that one, no, yeah.
It's actually for people who are new in Germany, it's also the best time to buy winter clothes. So obviously, like use timeless pieces, that you can wear anytime, because they'll be like doing these what do they call them? Like these change of season sales or something.
Yeah.
So,
I think end of season sales.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I think something else that happens, two other things happen in Hamburg. There's typically a jazz festival. How do you remember? I think we always wanted to go, but we never actually went. There's like this big jazz festival. And typically around the jazz festival, there will be a lot of like exhibitions as well. So that if you're into like museums and like art and photography, Hadi, I remember you used to drag me to some back then. There's always something like interesting to like see, so you can look out for exhibitions. And I think there's also like a Hamburg festival. So like there's a kind of like the official Hamburg national, not national, obviously it's not national anymore, state day. So there's like one big festival around that. So they do like fireworks at the Ulster, and it's like a whole day celebration. And then I think also the Dome. Do you guys have is something similar to the Dome? So like sometimes in the year they have like these amusement parks that go up, and they also pull them down after. So there's like the Hamburger Dome.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have something similar in Frankfurt.
Here we have fest. Like they have like Frühlingfest, and then they have like, I think for each season they have a fest, and they put
there's
up
one.
all of this.
So something like so something like that. So there's the Hamburger Dome. It goes up in Easter, and I think it also goes up sometime in the summer as well. So there will be that. And then if you like roller coasters and things like that could also be something interesting. There's actually nice things to do within Germany in the summer.
And maybe download this, or it's a website also called Fever app. Like
Fever.
I don't know this one.
I don't know if it's like a Nordrhein-Westfalen thing, but like it always has events, and it's always like giving the events like for the next 3 weeks or so.
Cool.
You can obviously find nice cool restaurants or nice cool places or kermesses that are opening. And what else can I say? Also visit castles. So if the area you live in has castles, those are also nice to visit. I've been to the one in Heidelberg so far. I've been to many, but the one in Heidelberg has been so far one of the best for me. The only downside was when I saw the servants' quarters. I was like, child, this is where some of my people were, but but it's such a beautiful concept that people back then used to live in these castles, And sometimes you can actually peep a wedding going on at a castle, and it's just beautiful to like see, you know. Um, and of course, grilling. I don't know if it's actually a thing everywhere, but this side there are some parks that where you're allowed to like have your own grill and just have a good time. And it's actually fun. It's a rule of mine that every summer I have to eat some grilled meat, like fire grilled meat, because it's just the best,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, wear nice clothes, you know. If you want to wear like clothes that show off body parts, do it. This is Germany. No one cares, right? So express
Yeah.
your body positivity, freedom, whatever. It's very nice. But
Yeah, I
do
mean, the
something else
sun.
outside of the ice cream eating habit. That's my message.
That's hilarious. Yeah, the sun is out for a very limited amount of time, so you better be
Yeah.
outside. That's all I can say.
Better be outside. Yeah.
And also
But
the
there's
one
always
we're
like
going
one
to.
festival or the other. Yeah.
In Munich.
Sorry?
There's the one we are going to, like an R&B thing, guys.
Ah,
Because your
We
girls
both-
will
we
be
haven't bought our
outside.
yeah. We haven't bought our tickets,
Yeah.
but we want to
But
go.
we're going. Yeah. So there's, yeah, for those that might be interested, it's happening in different cities. So there's going to be this old school, again, we sound old, but whatever, old
Right.
school brunch party happening in different cities. I actually found it last year, but I didn't find anyone to go with me. I was so sad. And yeah, I couldn't go. But yeah, this year we're going together. We're going in Cologne. Yeah, so if you listen to us and you live in Cologne, you can say hi.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't mind. We're very friendly,
Very.
very open. We love
don't
good
bite.
banter. So, yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this again, it's summer, right? We're coming out of like I'll say the depression of winter. So yeah, go outside, make new friends, and people are generally friendlier in summer, so it shouldn't be too difficult to meet people.
Yeah.
And make connections. So do that. And if you're looking for like cheap like trips that you can do within Europe, I can recommend Prague. Prague is like a nice, not too expensive destination that you can go to. And depending on what side of Germany you're on, right? If you just want like a quick bus trip or something, you can also do Amsterdam. Also not too expensive to go.
Also download Groupon. Like I knew I was forgetting to plug something. Groupon. I got like Amsterdam trips on there for like 25 bucks.
Yeah, exactly. So you can do that. Go there, eat some cakes, eat some cookies,
Or
lay your
check
head down.
Check
smoke weed.
Ryanair flights. If you keep on checking them, you'll find deals. And I remember back in the day, we used to fly for like 10 euros. I don't know if that still happens. Yeah, girl. Went to Belgium for 10 euros. Where else did we go? Back then, yeah, we just used to book like somehow we find them. Nowadays, I never find these 10 euro flights anymore.
Maybe because more people know about it now. So
Could be.
And inflation. Yeah, I don't think it's as cheap anymore, but there's still something. Even Flixbus used to be ridiculously cheap back in the day.
if you book in
But
time,
yeah,
it's
but I'm sure you can
okay.
still find something. Yeah. And you can also check if you have 49 euro ticket. I think there's some cities outside of Germany that you can actually go to. So you can also check which ones and maybe use, just the normal Regionalbahn to visit a city. So yeah, there are places kind of around. There are lots of, Germany has 8 border countries, I think. So there's plenty, that you can do without spending too much money.
Also, DM us
Yeah.
for tips. I live in Cologne, so that's Nordrhein-Westfalen. Hadya lives in Munich, that's in Bavaria. And Mariam
Yeah.
stays in Frankfurt, that's in Hessen. So if you're in one of those regions, like just DM us, we'll tell you like what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that should help. I really want everyone to have a fantastic summer in 2024. We've been through, the pandemic and all of that. It's time for us to kind of have a lot of fun. So yeah.
Hot for
Sorry,
sure.
before we wrap up, I just remembered going to Amsterdam with Emmanuel and Hadya, and Emmanuel getting high off of
I wish people could see Hadya's face right now.
Emmanuel getting high off of those cookies or was it a muffin that we had?
It was a cupcake.
It was a cupcake. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying it's some cake. It can be very funny. So he got high. So the bus ride back was hilarious. Like we were
His
seated at
eyes
the
were
back,
just-
and yeah. And he kept telling us. He kept saying, "I'm fine. I'm not high.
Yeah, I'm
But you
fine.
could
I'm
just
fine. And
tell."
his hands were like this. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like,
So yeah, that could be something fun to do with your friends. Go there, Again, we're not.
Are you
we're not
like
asking
proposing
anybody
that
to-
people go and smoke weed?
but weed is legal
say
now,
s-
so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
they've
it's also
legalized
legal
it
here. Maybe you
here.
don't have to go too far.
yeah. If it's your thing,
Yeah.
don't like do it and say the She Sessions girlies told me to smoke weed. Nah.
Yeah. Please, guys. Whatever you do at your own risk and be responsible,
Yeah.
please.
Fun.
Yeah. Okay. I think this was quite interesting. If you liked the episode, please give us thumbs ups. Like the episode on Spotify or YouTube. You can also follow us on social media at this She Sessions. Is always such a mouthful. At the She Sessions. At the She Sessions, right?
Yeah.
No pod. Yeah.
The She Sessions.
On on TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, I mean, drop a comment and we look forward to catching you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.